Hello everyone! Finally, I have here all the pieces that I need to build my Modular Diagon Alley MOC. These are the 2000 that I ordered from Bricklink and from LEGO. I already checked the orders from Bricklink to make sure that everything was okay, but I still haven't done so with the LEGO orders. I'm assuming they are, but I'll need to check that and part these pieces out. But this is not enough, this is just 2000 pieces. Then I will need the 4 buildings of the first Diagon Alley set. The Ollivanders one that I started already to disassemble in the beginning of this project, and then the one with the quality Quidditch supplies, the Flourish and Blots, and Weasley's Wizard Whizzes. But that is still not enough. I need the second Diagon Alley set that I bought. The parts from the Ollivanders building that I already parted out, but also all the other parts that I haven't yet opened that I need to part out to be ready to start building my Modular Diagon Alley MOC. So this is the task at hand. I have to disassemble these 4 buildings and part out all these 13,000 pieces. I tried to get more of these boxes that are from IKEA, but they are currently out of stock here in Portugal. So I'm just limited to these 4, this smaller one. My hypothesis right now is to use these 2 trays. They came from the LEGO architecture box, and I can use them, and freezing plastic bags also from IKEA. And I hope this is enough. I will let you know how it went. In the first day, I parted out all the orders from LEGO and Bricklink. In the case of the orders from LEGO, I also checked to see if all the parts had come correctly as I ordered. Everything was okay, and I even got a few extra parts. So with all that parted out, you can see that now I already have a bunch of bags here with the bigger parts that didn't fit these boxes, and these boxes are much more full. So they have around 3,000 pieces, all the orders from LEGO and Bricklink, and the parts from the second Ollivander set that I had already parted out. Today is disassembly day. So I will start disassembling the first Diagon Alley set, starting with the Ollivanders that is already half destroyed, and then to the other buildings. Let's see how much I managed to do today. Day number 3 of me and my 13,000 LEGO pieces that I need to part out. So in the second day, I disassembled the 2 first buildings from the original Diagon Alley. With those parts, and with the parts of the orders and the parts of the second Ollivanders that I had already parted out, I was now able to estimate roughly how many parts of each type I would have, and already organize them in a way that could include all the 13,000 pieces. So right now, these boxes are much more empty because they have already only a few types of parts and already have space to receive the remaining parts that I need to part out. And I have here a bunch of bags. They are organized in groups according to the families of parts. They are currently 49. I believe that I won't need to expand and reorganize much more the parts, because that was also consuming a lot of time. Every time that some parts did not fit the space that I had them, I had to reorganize and split between part types, and that was very time consuming each time I had to do it. So I took the advantage on the second day to only disassemble 2 buildings and take care of all this reorganization. And now today I'm expecting to be much more efficient and not only disassemble these 2 additional buildings from the first Diagon Alley set, but start parting out the remaining parts of the second Diagon Alley set. I think it's a bit of a stretch and I won't be able to finish them today, and I will still need to have a 4th day parting out parts, but I think that I can start already today. 4th and final day of the task of parting out these 13,000 LEGO pieces. So in the last day, the 3rd day, as I planned, I disassembled the remaining buildings on the original Diagon Alley set, and I started parting out the bags of the second Diagon Alley set. In those bags, my approach was to start from the bigger bags with the bigger types of pieces to the smaller ones. So I started with the numbered ones and extracted the non-numbered ones inside of those and left it on the side. And using this static, I managed to do bigger chunks of work because I was working on the table with less types of parts. It was much more efficient even than for storing them in the bags. That are still the 49 bags that I had the previous day and still these 5 boxes. So I will do this bit of work and I'll see you in a minute. All done, and this is what 13,000 Lego pieces split by boxes and bags look like. Even with all this organization, I will be much slower building than in a regular Lego set. Though this is better than having all the parts in the midst of all my other spare parts, because it's already reduced to 13,000 parts and I will need 11,000 around it, so not much will be spare in the end. But it's completely different than having a numbered bag with all the parts that I need for the X number of steps. For each step I will need to come here and pick up the parts from several boxes and bags and all that, so it will be much slower. Since each building is kind of a size of a modular in terms of number of parts, and since I'm always also trying the instructions, my math says that I will take around 4 days for each building. That's my prediction. Let's see how that goes. If I manage to keep up with that, I release every 2 weeks, so every other video that I release will be with one of these buildings already built and to show you the final look. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more.